Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Star Flames. Miss Cassie Ventura is saying, hold my purse for me, please. Give me a pen and a sheet of paper. Because since all these other women, over 78 different people, wrote to the judge on Sean Diddy Combs' behalf, begging for Diddy's release, saying that Diddy is a good, upstanding citizen and man of God. Cassie says, since y'all want to do that, let me write the judge and tell the judge my story, how I felt trapped for 11 years. Because since my testimony is my bruise, my scars, all the photo evidence that I've shared with the world is not enough. Let me reiterate my stance when it comes to this man. Not only has this man left me with tremendous horrific scars, I'm so scared to the point where I even have to change my address. That is what Miss Cassie Ventura is saying to Judge Aran Subramania about Sean Diddy Combs. Now, as you guys know, Cassie Ventura was the key witness on the Sean Diddy Combs trial, wherein Diddy was convicted on 2 counts of the Mann Act, which is transporting a person or persons across state lines for the purpose of prostitution. And the only reason why he was found guilty on those is because he transported men. Men were transported. The women were never ever taken into consideration because it is not okay for a woman to say yes then to say no. You're a woman. How dare you? And the law has long been unfair to women, and it seems as though everything that everyone has worked for over the past couple of decades for a woman to have some amount of say, some amount of rights. It seems as though with this new government in place, that all of that is about to erase. But we're going to talk about that another time because, as I've said, you guys know that Young Miami, Dana Tran, and quite a few other people wrote to Judge Aran Subramania saying that Sean Diddy Combs is a good man. He's a man of God. He has taken care of his community. He has given people money. He has helped a lot of people. And we know one thing about people. People will do the most evil of things and then run to church and find atonement, through what they call change. They have been converted to Christians. With Sean Diddy Combs giving, I believe that is how he atoned for his sins. Now, the letter that Cassie sent to Judge Aran Subramania, it's a very lengthy one. She highlighted the vicious hand and feet attack, which she endured back in 2016 at the Intercontinental Hotel. You guys remember that video footage. She also shared some of the things that she already shared during the trial. So I want to get into the letter, and as I've said, it's a very lengthy one, so let's get right into it. Now, the letter says, Dear Judge Subramania, I have been in a cycle of thought and then overthought writing this letter to you. If there is one thing I have learned from this experience, it is that victims and survivors will never be safe. Although I can hope for justice and accountability, I have come to not trust anything. I hope that your decision considers the truth at hand that the jury failed to see. For 4 days in May, while 9 months pregnant with my son, I testified in front of a packed courtroom about the most traumatic and horrifying chapter in my life. I testified that from the age 19, Sean Combs used violence, threats, substances, and control over my career to trap me in over a decade of abuse. He groomed me into performing repeated sex acts with hired male sex workers during multiple day freak-offs, which occurred nearly weekly. I was forced into lingerie and heels, told exactly how to look, and plied with drugs and alcohol so he could control me like a puppet. These events were degrading and disgusting, leaving me with infections, illnesses, and days of physical and emotional exhaustion before he demanded it all again. Sex acts became my full-time job, used as the only way to stay in his good grace. I testified that I learned to read Sean Combs' signals, knowing that when he spoke of freak-offs, he was demanding them, and that refusing meant punishment, losing my car, my phone, or worse. He controlled every part of my livelihood and threatened to destroy my reputation by leaking sex tapes, a threat he repeated often. His power over me eroded my independence and sense of self until I felt I had no choice but to submit. When he believed I had wronged him or was not sufficiently responsive, he also threatened people around me and those close to me, including my family. I regularly worried that displeasing him meant putting my family and friends' safety at risk. I testified how beyond these threats, Sean Combs frequently used violence to get his way. Over the nearly 11 years we were together, Sean Combs would hit me, punch me, stomp on my face, pull my hair, and throw my body to the ground and against the wall. The jury saw pictures of bruises on my back from Combs kicking me and saw the deep gash over my eye he caused when he slammed me into a bed frame. The entire courtroom watched actual footage of Combs kicking and beating me as I tried to run away from a freak-off in 2016. People watched this footage dozens of times, seeing my body thrown to the ground, my hands over my head curled into a fetal position to shield me from the worst blows. This physical violence caused bruises that makeup artists paid for by Sean Combs would cover up, as well as permanent scars all over my body. And even if you look at some of the photographs, even with heavy makeup, some of the scars cannot be concealed. So she's not telling a lie. We've seen so many photo evidence and video evidence of what she's saying. Now, the letter further goes on to say, I spent the last 7 years of my life slowly rebuilding myself, physically getting clean from the drug abuse Sean Combs forced and encouraged, and mentally understanding how to live with a seemingly insurmountable level of trauma. The horrors I endured drove me to have thoughts of suicide, ones I almost followed through on, if not for my family's intervention and urging that I seek professional care. I have been to rehab and have taken part in dozens of types of therapy modalities to confront and compartmentalize and cope with the horrific memories of sexual and emotional abuse I endured for nearly 10 years. While what he did to me is always present, I am slowly learning how to live my life free of fear and horrors I endured, and is doing so. I'm fully devoted to my husband and my children. I still have nightmares and flashbacks on a regular, everyday basis and continue to require psychological care to cope with my past. My worry is that Sean Combs or his associates will come after me, and my family is my reality. I have in fact moved my family out of the New York area, and I'm keeping as private and quiet as I possibly can because I'm so scared that if he walks free, his first action will be swift retribution towards me and others who spoke up about his abuse at trial. As much progress as I have made in recovering from his abuse, I remain very much afraid of what he is capable of and the malice he undoubtedly harbors towards me for having the bravery to tell the truth. His defense attorney claims he is a changed man and he wants to mentor abusers. I know firsthand what real mentorship means, and this disgusts me. Definitely it would anyone. He is not being truthful. I know that who he was to me. The manipulator, the aggressor, the abuser, the trafficker is who he is as a human. He has no interest in changing or becoming better. He will always be the same cruel, power-hungry, manipulative man that he is. When I came out of my allegations when I came out with my allegations in my civil case, he flatly denied them again and again. It was only after actual video footage corroborated the exact words in my civil complaint that he issued an insincere apology on the internet. Thanks to the footage and my testimony, this is also something he will forever be associated with. That's true. That's one powerful, valid, inadmissible point that she's made there. Now, the letter goes on to say that for over a decade, Sean Combs made me feel powerless and unimportant, but my experience was real, horrific, and deserves to be considered. While the jury did not seem to understand or believe that I engaged in freak-offs because of the force and coercion the defendant used against me, I know that it is the truth, and his sentence should reflect the reality of the evidence and my lived experience as a victim, reliving in details the event and truth described throughout the trial, and this letter causes me tremendous emotional pain. I am trying with all that I am to move on. I hope that your sentencing decision reflects the strength it took for victims of Sean Combs to come forward. I hope that your decision considers the many lives that Sean Combs has upended with his abuse and control. I thank you for your time and attention, and it has Cassie Ventura Fine at the bottom. Whew, that is one heavy letter, and everything she says in that letter, it is true, because if we go back to the time when it was revealed, in the lawsuit that he did those horrible things to her, he said it's a lie. He denied all of it until the video evidence was released, and after the video evidence was released, he basically said that it was fabricated to make it seem as though he did something to her that he didn't do, and the video was edited, but they weren't able to prove that the video was edited. So he consistently lies about everything because he thinks that he can just do things and get away with it. He feels as though he's above the law, and he feels as though he's the king. And as Cassie says, he's not sorry about anything that he has done. He's completely, definitely not sorry. But it's unfortunate that many people will not see Cassie as a victim until it happens to them or someone who they love near and dear to their heart. Only then they will understand the extremities of what Cassie had to endure. But that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Let me know what's your take. While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up. Stay safe. Peace.